Hey, Andrew here. Just wanted to go over today proper form and technique of squatting and why it's good for you and why you should do it and why you should try it at home and why you should do it in the gym. Couple of different things to talk about first, what it's good for and who it's good for. Pretty much anybody is good for. So as long as you don't have real bad knees or a bad back, and if that's the case, then you definitely want to get cleared by your doctor first before you try this, because there could be some certain parameters that you got to stick to and certain ranges of motion not to dip into if you've got bad knees, for example. But I'm going to show you the proper form that everybody should abide by, whether you do have a problematic knee or if you don't have any injuries or concerns at all. First of all, it's really great for your whole entire body because you're going to be burning a heck of an amount of calories, which in turn is going to be burning fat. You're going to be creating lean muscle, increasing your metabolism, all by just doing this simple movement. And then you can actually build a lot of exercises off of this. So very basic movement, because you can use this as a building block to your future fitness exercises. So think about that, and as as you're going through your certain steps, make sure you go down through the checklist that I'm going to go through. Starting with your feet and then traveling up your body as you're doing it, and just making sure that everything's following in progression and making sure that you're staying in the right form and right range of motion. Let's start at the feet. You want to be about shoulder width apart with your feet, and your toes can be slightly turned out. You don't want them to be flared, and you don't necessarily want them to be straight ahead either. So a little bit flared out. Travel up your legs. We're going to talk about your knees in a little bit, and your hips as well. I'm going to use this. This is a good tool to use. You can use anything at your house that you can hang on that's not going to move. This is a good place to start at where you're learning this squat, so that you can get that full depth and then progress to where you're not holding on to anything. But going back to the positioning, check your feet out, make sure you're good, and then once you start moving, I'm gonna always start at my feet with when you're thinking about doing your movement. So start thinking about sitting on your heels. And then as you go down, think about your knees. Don't let your knees go forward. And then stick your hips back. And then keep your shoulders up. So see how I went right up my body as far as your joints go? Feet and ankles to your knees, to your hips, and then to your shoulders. Thinking about what you need to be doing on each position as you do this squatting motion. On your heels, don't let your knees go past your toes. Stick your hips back. Keep your chest and shoulders up. Your ideal depth is to get your hips slightly past your knees. Going up and down like this. At the top of your motion, make sure you don't stop right here, but you're going to come all the way up, what's called clearing the hips. Coming all the way up straight, vertical, squeezing your glutes, squeezing your thighs, and you're standing up nice and tall. Another good point is to maintain looking straight ahead, so that you're not looking down at your toes and you're not cocking your head all the way back like this, but really just keeping a neutral spine all the way from head to the bottom of your spine. Sitting back, nice and deep, and then all the way up. Deep, and then all the way up. You can always do this in front of a mirror too, making sure that your form is good, looking straight ahead, and then as you're looking here, looking from the side is good too, because you can see your knee alignment and making sure that your upper body's not falling forward. Once you progress, you can start with just holding on to one hand, and then just a couple fingers. Like I said before, the eventual progression is to get rid of holding on to something altogether. So once you're ready to free yourself from holding on to something, everything stays the same. It just requires a lot more posterior chain strength, core strength, and then obviously leg strength. And it's a little bit harder to stay back, but it's going to be looking like something like this. as you progress. I always like to put my hands out in front of you as you go down and then pull them in as you come up. Nice deep squat and up. I'll show you from the side as well. Squat, up, squat, up, squat. And clearing the hips at the top, up, up. All the weight back in the heels. Don't let the knees go past the toes. Stick your hips way back. Keep your chest up. Good luck with your squats.